That tees up a conversation here. Paul Rieckhoff, host of the Independent Americans podcast, back at the table. I'm Connell Nicole Burley. Chris Stirewalt was the Chris Cuomo was referencing. So we can start on that and the type of Democrat and what tonight's message is from Mamdani.
A remarkable message. When he said that you will have a government that loves you back, you love your city, and now you're going to have a city that loves you back. When he said that there was a city that would tackle, there was no problem too big for it to tackle, no issue too small for it to care about, I'm reminded of the ratchet effect that occurs in populist movements, which is things don't work out, people become frustrated. The frustrations of people are easily exploited by demagogues, whether they be right or left, that say, if you just give me enough power, I can make, vote for Pedro and all your dreams will come true, as Napoleon Dynamite told us. And you see it on the right and you see it on the left. And here's the problem, ultimately, in the end. What Americans keep saying, what we hear in national election after national election is, please be good at your job. Please just be good at the work that is put before you. And instead of that, what we get is overreach followed by overreach. I think you can certainly see that we can tell the story of how Mamdani got to be where he is and the political mistakes and Eric Adams and all of that stuff. But the story of the night is a snapback against Donald Trump, and a snapback against, I mean, how much did Zoran Mamdani have to say about Donald Trump? So all of that snapback is in part because Donald Trump went too far when he got in. He won an election by 1.5 points nationally, and he got in and he started, I mean, he literally tore down part of the White House. He did too many things. And we could go back 4 years and we could say Joe Biden was elected to be a caretaker president, as he said, a bridge into the future. And what did he do? He went bananas too. And he did too many things, and he was too activist. I know that it's very appealing for Mamdani's supporters to believe that there is a government that can give you everything that you want and love you back, but that's not what we're hearing from voters across the country. What we're hearing from voters across the country tonight is, do less. Please, do less.
Do you agree with this?
I think Chris is getting to the core of maybe what's most important here. This is historic. It's an earthquake politically, but it is not a mandate. 50.5% is not a mandate. 50.5% is what is happening in America. And I think that Trump is too far to the right and out of the mainstream. I think Mamdani is too far to the left and out of the mainstream. And the answer to Donald Trump's overreach is not an overreach in the other direction. And I think that's what you're going to hear from most Americans, is that the Republicans are too far right, the Democrats are too far left, and I am homeless in the middle. And the true path forward for America is the candidate that can unite that middle, the candidates that can bring people together. The message that really worries me the most is he said Donald Trump turned the volume up. We do not need Donald Trump to turn the volume up, and we do not need the other side to turn the volume up. We need both sides to turn the volume down. That is key to uniting America, and also recognizing that the domestic divides that we see is a national security risk. Our enemies would love to see the left and right battling it out and troops in the street, and tonight did not lower the volume or the temperature, and that's what I think most Americans want to see most.
Yeah, maybe a little, though, in Virginia and New Jersey with those candidates, you know, that I would say. They're more moderate.
I think that's true. Yeah.
So, we'll see.
But that's not going to dominate the narrative tonight.
No.
That is what Donald Trump wanted, and he welcomes that fight. And now we've got a national cage match between Mamdani and Trump that's going to unfold.
The guy knows how to campaign, by the way, Mamdani, and how to make a speech. It just, you know, you're from New York as well. Yeah. Every reference, outer borough reference, there was not a Manhattan reference, bus routes, you know, and for whatever you could say, is it legitimate? Is it not?
But he didn't say. But he didn't say Republicans. I'm talking to you. He didn't say white moderates. I'm talking to you. He didn't say I'm going to unite all New Yorkers. Yeah. He said we're taking over. Yeah. Right. And that was not a moderate message tonight. That was not at all a moderate message.
Well, it's interesting, Paul. You say, you know, the answer is not overreach. You know, Chris, you say that the government, you know, you can promise that the government will give you everything. Campaigning on hope and change is one thing. Governing on hope and change is another thing. I mean, do you think, because he promised a lot in just what we heard in that victory speech, let alone what we've heard from, you know, on the campaign trail. I know we're running out of time. Do you think he starts off full speed? I mean, promising and delivering are two different things.
Always up to him in New York, the way it works here. You know?
Nothing goes full speed in New York anymore. Welcome to New York traffic. I mean, you can talk a big game and you can promise lots of free stuff, and that sounds great, but that's what lots of developers have promised that still have construction projects in the city that are half done. Can you fix the potholes? Can you fix traffic? Can you lower the cost of living? That's going to be the hard stuff. And can he actually move it forward when half the city is going to be working against him starting tomorrow? I think that's going to be the real test.
You want to top it off, Stirewalt? A quick thought before we wrap up this
We did it.
night?
We did it. We had free, fair, safe elections in the
Very
United
important.
States.
Very good point.
People can trust the results. People did their jobs. We did our jobs. The voters did their jobs. This is a great country. This is a great place to
You're
live.
right about all of that. You know, it reminds me, speaking of doing our jobs, we should give a shout out to our friends at DDHQ, Decision
Oh,
Destination.
baby.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's everything.
You talk about the best of the business. There's the brain room. They're still going down there. Hey, guys. Scott Trader and everybody down there, they're a
going
separator. They are a separator,
Got a long
first
day.
and right, always. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Good night of coverage, right? So.
That's right.
All right, for Nicole, Chris Stirewalt, thank you, Paul Rieckhoff. I'm Connell McShane. Thank you for joining us. Check out a special edition of Morning in America tomorrow morning on Newsnation.